In the last section, we created a couple of different files and folders to get our project started. We'll first begin inside of our app.js file. Inside of here, we're going to put together just a little bit of boilerplate code, and then we'll use our index.js file to make sure that it's visible on the screen. So inside of app.js, I'll first get started by importing React from React. And then inside this component, we're going to make a very simple functional component. So we'll say export default. We'll place an arrow function. And then for right now, we'll say that this is going to return a div with the text, I'm the app component. So very simple, very humble beginnings to get started. I'll then save this file, and then we'll immediately flip over to our index.js file, where we will import the app and make sure that we render it out to be visible on the screen. So inside of index.js, at the very top, we will import React from React. We will import React DOM from React-DOM, and then we'll also import the app component that we just created. So I'll import app from components/app. And then finally at the bottom of the file, we're going to make use of the React DOM library to render an instance of the app component out to the screen. So remember how we render a component out directly to the DOM? We call React DOM with capitals on DOM right there. Don't forget that. We'll call render. We'll then pass in an instance of the component that we want to show on the screen. So in this case, it's going to be our app component. And then the second argument will be a reference to a DOM element on the page. Now, anytime we make use of create React app, we get this public directory with an index.html file inside of it. Anytime a user visits our application, this index.html file will be loaded up. And then that file will pull in all the JavaScript tied to our project. So if we open up this HTML document and scroll down towards the bottom, you'll find a div right here with an ID of root. So this is intended to be the root div of the entire React application. So we're going to write a query selector that's going to attempt to find this div element. Back inside of our index.js file, we'll do a document.querySelector. And then to select that div, we'll enter in a string. And let's new line this very quickly just so we can see the whole line. There we go. So we're going to do pound root like so. So that's going to attempt to find that div with an ID of root. I'll then save this file, and then we'll test out this inside the browser. We'll need to first make sure that we start up the development server for Create React App. So to do so, I'm going to go back over to my terminal, and inside of my project directory, I'll run the command npm run serve. Excuse me, not serve, we want start. So we'll run that, and that will start up our development server that's going to try to bundle those 3 different files that we just created together, and then serve them up inside the browser. Now when I start npm run start right here, it's going to take me just a minute to load stuff up, simply because when I'm running this desktop recording software on my computer, well, it tends to bog things down just a little. So after a very brief pause here, or maybe in my case not that brief, I will see my application up here on the screen. And at this point, all I'm really expecting is to see the output of that app component, which says simply, right over here, just the I'm the app component and nothing else. That's all we really expect right now. So if I go back over, you know what, this is taking too long, but I'm sure you've already seen output on yours. So let's take a quick pause right here. When we come back to the next section, we will wire up our comment list and comment box to the app component.